Hello and welcome to Inner Circle Guidance. Today we're going to be doing a collective reading, but for those of you who are new to the circle, hello and welcome. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. I post new readings every single day. And if you're looking for daily short tarot readings, check out my Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, or YouTube shorts. If you're looking for personal services or personal readings, I offer them through my website, innercircleguidance.com. Let's find out what the circle needs to know today. Okay, that was interesting. I don't usually have cards just fall out like that. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Wow. Okay, so 5. I originally had 5 cards out, and then I felt the need to keep going, and we got 2 more. Let's find out what we have here. The 4 of Pentacles was the card that came out first. We have the Ace of Chalices. We have the 10 of Wands. Ooh, pretty. Sorry, we have some new cards that haven't come out of this deck yet, and they're beautiful. I'm excited for you all to see them. This is the 6 of Swords, and then we had the Star. And since these came out first, I'm going to say these other 2 are clarity and underlying overall energy. So we have the 5 of Swords and the 3 of Wands. Okay. Surprisingly, this is a very clear message today. And I say surprisingly because sometimes when the cards fall out like that, they can be a little chaotic. The energy can be chaotic. And sometimes when you're reading energy, it can be difficult to discern exactly where the energy is coming from or the specificity of it, because when you're picking up on an energy of chaos, often the messages come through in an energy of chaos, and you have to be able to, as a reader, sort of discern between the different energies. But this is coming through very clearly to me. And that means to me that there's going to be some major clarity on what this reading is about, exactly how to do this, coming through very shortly to you, and or you're already in the process of this particular task. I keep hearing that you need to learn how to better cultivate your own joy. Now, let's get into some specificity with that, because cultivating your own joy can mean kind of a lot of different things. There's sort of these underlying misconceptions about it. With the 4 of Pentacles, the 4 of Pentacles is sort of holding on for dear life. It's an energy of being sort of stingy, of being so closed off and worried about losing what you currently have or somebody taking it from you that you're not even recognizing the opportunities that are around you. So hopefully you all can see this. This person is holding on to his pentacles. He's got 1 on his head, 1 that he's holding in his arms, and 2 that he's got underneath his feet. And it's like he's daring anybody to even try. But there's nobody here. And meanwhile, there's these magical fruit trees right above his head, but he is none the wiser because he's so caught up in holding on to dear life what he currently has. A lot of you have these limiting beliefs around your success, around your progress, and around your happiness. I'm very much hearing that you understand the concept of feeding the embers of what it is that you desire. You understand the concept that, okay, I have to choose to be happy. You've already picked up on that through your spiritual journey. You're already learning that you have to sort of nurture your own happiness here. But what you're not doing here is you're not cultivating that in a way where there is overflow. There's still a lot of lacking mindset here, whereas the Ace of Chalices, we have this overflowing fountain that's just overflowing water into a river that's already full. If you want to get to an overflow state instead of just enough or things being, it's all right, you have to be willing to release things that are not serving you, things that don't make you really feel deeply within your heart and your soul joy and happiness. There's a lot of spiritual gurus out there who talk about how, oh, you have to choose to be happy, you have to choose to be happy. And yes, that's sound advice. You do have to make the choice. However, it's more about cultivating your own joy than it is about just choosing it. When you're just choosing it, It's like you think that the only amount of accountability or responsibility you have to your own joy and happiness, to your own abundance, is to simply say and decide, okay, choose it and that's it. That's not really how it works. It takes a little bit more work, a little more responsibility, a little bit more accountability of you choosing and cultivating your own joy and happiness, meaning that you have to take full responsibility for your happiness and your abundance. Where are you not doing that and waiting for the universe to just give it to you? Where are you maybe still stuck in these limiting beliefs and mindsets that are keeping you stuck in this fight or this sort of stuck energy, instead of following your intuition and following your guidance and following your passions and using that as a guiding light? A lot of you are not as confused as you think you are. Things are not as chaotic as you think they are. It's because of the energy you're currently in of fear of losing something. Remember that in order for new to come in, you have to release things that are no longer serving you, so there's room for that new energy. If you're not allowing for room in that energy, then that energy is not going to be able to come in. You're going to be blocking it, just like this guy is from these magical fruit trees. He's literally sitting right under it. And he's not noticing because he's too caught up in what he currently has. And he's holding on to these pentacles that aren't even making him happy. I mean, look, he's not even happy. He doesn't even look happy at all. He looks pissed off and frustrated, and he's barefoot, so he's cold maybe. His robe is all disheveled. I mean, that's not the energy we want to be in this era. So we're not going to take that energy. We're going to release it. Now, what I think you guys are going to learn though, is as you start stepping into this energy of taking more accountability for your happiness and cultivating it, it's going to start to grow, but you're going to feel almost like you're getting caught up in the energy. It's almost like the energy is going to become its own thing. And suddenly your life is going to shift in a way where things are going to feel slightly out of control here for a little bit. And it's only because that is a natural state of the energy shifting. So if you can see in this card, there's this person back here who has been cultivating this forest, and now the forest is growing. There's flowers everywhere, but it's almost like the person's trying to get through the woods, and it's almost like he's becoming part of the woods, or she, I don't know. I think it's a guy. Irrelevant. The point is, whoever this person is, they are trekking through, and it's almost like there's this resistance of like the energy is like tacking onto him, and it's become its own thing. At first, this is gonna feel uncomfortable. Okay, it's going to become, when you start to cultivate your own joy and your own happiness and you start taking more accountability, remember that your thoughts, your feelings, your decisions, your choices are all energy that you are putting behind what you're trying to do. So when you do that, the energy grows spiritually. Then as the energy grows, you start attracting even more energy towards you. This is a natural state, but in the beginning, when you are becoming what it is you desire, it feels a little uncomfortable because it almost feels like you don't have any control anymore, but that's not truly the case. Whatever is in your ability to help yourself is what you want to do. Not in an energy of, oh, I have to do this because I'm being told to, or an energy of I have to do this because I'm scared something else is going to happen. But when you are in support of your own desires and your own self, and you become what it is you desire, that's how you manifest. That is the ultimate thing. It's not about choosing it so much as it is becoming and cultivating it. So this is a natural progression. This is actually a good thing, because when you get to the 10 of Wands, at least in this particular reading, it's about becoming the energy of overflow, the energy of abundance, the energy of cultivating your own happiness. You may be becoming this other thing that seems somewhat unrecognizable to who you previously were, but you're also becoming something greater. Whatever you are doing to help yourself, the gap of how things are going to happen is let up to the universe to put the pieces into place for you. So there's this big coming together of energy that happens in the 10 of Wands when you are in the state of abundance and overflow versus this stuck energy. And it will feel a little chaotic and maybe even confusing and things at first, because remember what I always say about change. No matter how welcome the change is, it's always going to feel a little bit uncomfortable, a little bit resistant. You tend to resist change because you like being consistent and steady. Your body has not released the old ways of being and doing and thinking and feeling yet. So there's this resistance, because when you make something a habit and you make it part of your daily routine and you become that thing, that's what you are. So when you are shifting and making a change, you are unbecoming. You are unbecoming who you previously were to become who you want to be. That's a major change. No matter how small it may seem, you're actually changing and rewiring your entire thought processes. There's a lot happening in the subconscious to allow you to become what it is you desire. Overflow and choosing to be happy and cultivating your happiness and cultivating your joy is understanding, one, what actually brings you happiness and joy, how to do it internally, because we have the moon here, which always indicates emotions in the subconscious mind, so that you're not relying on outside things, you're relying on yourself. What you'll start to realize is that some of these pieces of the forest that are coming together here, these becomings, are going to be an external reflection of what it is you desire, but not necessarily a reflection of your worth or a reflection of your self-confidence or who you are in terms of your value. There's still separation there, and that's good, because you are worthy regardless of what you are accomplishing. Your accomplishments are amplifying who you are and then becoming its own energy. After you hit this sort of becoming phase where things start to feel a little chaotic, we're going to be moving into a much smoother, calmer sort of energy with the Six of Swords. There's going to be the ability where you're going to step from this chaos to sudden clarity. And this usually comes through your intuition, through breakthroughs, through divine guidance. But there'll be sort of this step from things feeling sort of crazy to suddenly this is just normal. This is how things are. And when you do that, things become habit. The entire energy of what it is you want to become becomes automatic. That is the ultimate easiest way to manifest. And I say easiest in the sense that it's not that it's an easy task or an easy feat, but that's how you create the least amount of resistance to your manifestations, to your happiness and your joy, is when you're not resisting it. When you are allowing yourself to welcome it in, and then you are cultivating it. You are nurturing it. You are allowing it to overflow and always be more than enough. This is an energy shift, though. For a lot of you who are struggling right now financially because the Four of Pentacles is on the table, if you want an overflow of money, the solution is not making more money in terms of, oh, I just need to find another job. That's part of it. But until you shift your mindset from lack to abundance, it doesn't matter how much more money you bring in. It's never going to be enough. You have to cultivate your energy shift of choosing and shifting and becoming and cultivating the overflow. This largely has to do with the way you think and feel about money and about your decisions in general, and the decisions and choices you make that are in support of those thoughts and feelings that are part of your becoming. So I just want to say that real quick for those of you who are more focused on your finances at this time. Then we have the star here. The star is wish fulfillment. The star is also a leap of faith, where this woman is jumping. This is a really beautiful card. This woman is jumping into the abyss, and it's like the flowers and the energy around her are catching her and are bringing her to safety. Remember what I said about the universe fills in the gaps? That's what this card is indicating, but it's also indicating that there's going to be support coming in from the divine. You're going to start to recognize that there's no coincidences. Everything is on purpose. Everything that you are seeing, that someone is saying to you, that you happen across, is all because you are a magnet for what it is and that thing that is appearing. When you start to recognize this, you start to realize that everything you do is a spiritual practice. Every decision, every thought, every coincidence that seems to happen is actually synchronicity. You start to recognize how much power and influence you actually have on the world around you, and it starts to react, and it starts to infuse, and it starts to interact with you in a co-creative way. This is major wish fulfillment. This card indicates not only major wish fulfillment and balance, but we're talking about a understanding of self and an understanding of the spiritual forces that you have not come to clarity on yet. This has been a process, and I very much feel like through the last year, for those of you who have been with me since the beginning, this is really the year and the time where if you can really focus on cultivating that abundance, not just choosing it, cultivating it, making every single decision and choice and thought and feeling more intentional and becoming what it is that you desire, this is major wish fulfillment coming in. This is like literally you wish on a star and here you go. This is big, big energy. And right now the universe is saying you need to dream and think big. Don't make yourself small. Remember that abundance comes in many different forms. It's not just about money. It's not just about having more than enough materially. This is about understanding how to create overflow within that reflects outward in everything that you do, every thought, every decision, every area of your life. If you want to reach that 10 of Pentacles sort of energy we've been talking about for over a year now, where it's happiness, fulfillment, abundance in the different areas of your life, you have to cultivate it. It's more than just choosing it. You have to nurture it. You have to become it. You have to cultivate it. You have to literally grow it from a seed all the way to this massive forest that becomes its own thing, becomes automatic, flourishes without you having to put so much energy into feeding the flame and so much time. This is creating abundance to where it is your natural state of being. And what's funny is this is your natural state of being, but we are taught by society and things, and we forget as we grow up that that's our natural being. Remember that it's more about releasing what is not yours to make room for what is, or releasing what is old to allow for new, than it is changing who you are. You were given all these gifts and these perceived weaknesses for a reason. But if you can learn how to cultivate that into abundance, it's a completely different energy. So this is a major shift. This is actually a really big reading for those of you who are coming across this, because this means this is massive spiritual awakening. This is elevation at its finest. I mean, this is a very, very big deal. And it seems really simple, but it's not easy. It's not an easy feat, because you have to rewire all aspects of your brain towards abundance, and recognizing that abundance is also an overflow of time, overflow of money, overflow of resources, overflow of creative thoughts and ideas, overflow of energy, all the different pieces that make up the whole of your becoming. So I'm going to leave this reading here. If this reading resonated with you, don't forget to like this video. Your affirmation for this reading is, I am becoming everything that I desire. And as always, may your life be full of light, full of love, abundance, and gratitude. I'll see you next time.